Yeah, you know what? Let's just start and let's just have a fucking bickery of talk.
Yeah.
Alright. Put it in front of us.
Where Guys, listen. Welcome to episode 10 of the Total Football Talk Show. My name is Ali.
My name is Ange.
And Val is, once again,
Wait, hold on. Where is he?
I'll tell you where he is. We sacked him. Just like Tottenham sacked Ange.
So yeah, Val's not here today. He has a wedding to go to, and hopefully he enjoys that wedding.
I hope he doesn't.
I
He
kind-
told
I
us
kinda
last night
second, yeah,
at
so,
like 10 p.m.
yeah,
Hey guys,
exactly.
I've got
So-
a wedding.
We're exposing Val right now, and I do agree. Why didn't you just tell us last week?
Or the week before. Or when
Exactly.
you found
So
out you had a wedding.
yeah, exactly. So no quiz off today, just to give you guys a head up. We wanted to do something different. However, obviously, Val's not here, unfortunately.
We've got something
yeah.
else planned though.
Yeah, something else will be coming up in the later stages. A lot of things you can say we have it in a list of ideas or let's just say segments. Hopefully by next week, I have one segment that will show pretty much about like some of us or maybe myself coaching really because I coach Women's Premier League and I'm just going to see if I'm able to record a game or two or mainly just a game of me coaching. So you guys have understanding.
Are you doing that to expose?
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, so there's a little thing that people do talk about, and it happens to any, you could say any clubs, or not even any clubs, any grassroots club or any district, that the referees in those districts, or you could say the committee in that district,
Districts.
Sorry, districts. You could say they're power tripped. Power trip would be the right word because of the referees. Because they abuse and abuse.
They abuse their position, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you one experience, which I wasn't going to mention, but I won't say any names. There was a time where I was playing in a game, okay, and I shit you not, I went to sprint and I was playing as a 6, so I was waiting to grab the ball, and I came and collided with my mate. But I got the ball, I started dribbling. The ball was a bit loose, and like because I pushed the ball forward, and then my other teammate got it, and then I took the ball off him, but the guy came and slide tackled my teammate. Slide tackled him, okay, but then I took the ball and it was just me running down the line, pretty much 1v1 with a defender, and it was a really big bloke. So let's just say
He was never
going to get me.
He wasn't going to stop.
He was never ever going to get me, and the ref didn't call the advantage, which was annoying. Now, I took the ball back. I was really annoyed, but I didn't say anything to the referee. I took the ball back, and then this bloke, who was the last defender, goes, "Oh, I had you. You're never going to get me, mate. Oh, I had you all along." And all I did, this is the funny thing. This is what I mean by power trip referees, which I know some of them don't have no logic. I'm bringing the ball back, and I'm just like, to the player, I go, "Hey, you guys talk a lot, don't you?" Because he was doing they were all doing it the whole game. I go, "You guys talk a lot." The referee goes, "That's enough, mate." Gives me a sin bin. Gives me a yellow card and a sin bin. I had 10 minutes on the bench.
Why'd you open your mouth?
Who said I was talking to the ref?
How dare you speak?
I wasn't even talking to the referee. And then, let's just say 10 minutes go on. No, not 10 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh, actually, sorry. That was like on the 30th minute. And he said, I can't come back on until second half. So much for 10 minutes. Anyway, we play in the game. 5 minutes later, my mate in the team gets sin bin as well. But his one was even more funnier. The guy goes to the referee, "Ref, he punched me." And then he goes, "I didn't punch you, bro." "That's enough, mate. Sin bin." Like, that's how he got a sin bin. I'm telling you, when I say it like this, we went to the other like the other team also got sin bins. We were playing 9v9. There was
Wow.
4 sin bins in that space of like 15 minutes. That's how bad these referees are in certain districts. But I don't understand, and I don't care what you could say these districts might say about us, but these referees are so power tripped,
Yeah.
and it frustrates the hell out of me that we were making jokes, even the other team, when we were sitting there, and we all said the same thing we were saying like to each other and go, I don't think this guy gets enough at home to be like this. Because why? Like, where's the logic in it?
There is no logic.
No, there isn't.
And the committees protect them.
Oh, 100%.
Now, understand the referee is he makes the decisions in the game.
Mm.
And respect to all the referees that do their job. You know, they show up every morning.
Yeah.
We complain when we don't have referees.
Yeah.
And now we're complaining about them. But
Yeah.
there needs to be some level of control,
Mm.
a system in place
Yeah.
to allow us to get better referees,
Mm.
but also to put these referees, under fire when they make mistakes, or not mistakes,
Oh,
but when they
100%.
make decisions like that.
100%. They should be punished for their actions. And I had another experience where, and it was recent, but I'm not going to name names, where there will be like, let's say, for example, you call them fourth officials or assessors.
Yeah.
Who meant to just sit and assess the game and assess the referees, not get involved with the game.
Yeah.
And let's just say this assessor got involved with the game and made stupid accusations that were false. And let's just say, in a sense, that doing this caused one of my players a year suspension. A year. Okay. Now, obviously, we did appeal for this. And let's just say a certain body cam caught everything, because these referees have body cams. But if people know a proper ref, let's just say a FIFA ref, like a real referee, you could say, not these grassroots ones or anything like that, their reports have to be into detail. Let's just say this person's report was not into detail and pretty much, what do they call it? Defamation. Like they fragmented, like lied on the report and got caught red-handed. Now, is this district going to do anything about it?
Probably not.
No.
Probably like,
That's it.
don't do that again.
Oh, no. They'll pay them. But this is the issue I have with these referees these days. Like, whenever I play, when I play. If the referee calls a foul and I could see from here, my view, I'm watching as well, and I'll see my teammate argue, going, that's not a foul. I turn around and go, I will agree with the referee. I go, but that's a foul. Like, I will agree. I won't say anything.
Yeah.
I agree with the referees. I even help them with their decisions. But they don't listen to me as well anyway. They'll give me a yellow card. But I will help them because their job is not hard, easy. It's not.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I could be a referee. I don't mind one. But you know what the problem is? I don't want to deal with the stress or the headaches of making a mistake or anything like that. We are human at the end of the day. But I'm not going to be power tripped like how these
And that's
referees
the thing.
are.
There's mistakes. Look, sometimes you get games where we don't have a linesman,
Yeah.
or you get one linesman,
Yeah.
and it's offside. It is what it is.
Mm.
Like the ref can't see it. The ref can't see the ball going out in the corner
Yeah.
when there's no linesman to help him.
And
Right.
some of these, just to add to that as well, some linesmen's learning the book, let's say learning the rules before they even start the game.
Yeah, that is true. We
It
get
happens.
we get linesmen who actually don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like
Their logic behind it. I don't know. I think we played a game once and they said, after he kicks the ball, and then I decide.
there was a game, not that one, but there was a game where we had to explain to the linesman that it's okay for a player to receive the ball, an attacker to receive the ball behind the defensive line,
Yeah.
because it's only offside if he's there
Yeah.
when the ball is kicked.
100%.
Not if he runs there.
It's unbelievable.
We had an offside called, in our own half.
Yeah, that one. Those are the worst. Those are the worst. Oh,
Yeah,
he was
right
he was beyond the half. I was like,
He was
man.
like, no, he was behind the defender. He touched the ball. I'm like, yeah, but no. The offside rule is when the ball is kicked if he's
Yeah.
behind the defender.
Exactly.
Not he receives the ball behind the defender.
Exactly. And you know,
And that's not the, see. I don't mind when referees, linesmen, because the referees generally know the rules, but
Yeah.
when the linesman is new, right?
Yeah.
We get a lot of young referees, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm all for it because they start young, they learn the game, they
Yeah.
adapt to the game, they
That's fine.
understand, they learn, and then they become
Yeah.
the main
But they should study
the main
beforehand.
first official. Yeah, but it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, right? They're learning. They're
Mm.
learning. But there are instances where, like we said, power trip, where the ref, and here's the thing. So I've played.
Oh, I know what you're trying to get to.
I've played in three, four districts.
Yeah.
Right. Here in Sydney. Actually, I've played in four districts here in Sydney, and I've played in 2 districts in Melbourne. And I've been around other sports as well. You look at NRL,
Yeah.
right? The referees in NRL, cutthroat. You make a mistake, you're done.
Yeah.
Right? Again, sometimes they make mistakes.
Yeah,
The
human
ref will
error.
make a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ref will
We
make
all
a mistake.
human.
That's okay to make mistakes. I always say it's
Mm.
okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? It's an innocent mistake. You
Yeah.
didn't mean it. NRL referees are by the book. There's no bias.
No.
There's no favoritism.
No.
There's no power trip.
No.
And look, I'm not saying all of them are like that. There might be. The games that I've been to have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Football referees, 2 teams. One team, slide tackles from behind,
Yeah.
right? Players are getting chopped late, like late challenges, video recordings to
Yeah.
prove them. And you go watch the game back and you're like, how is that? This guy just cleaned him up without the ball.
Yeah. And nothing.
Taking that from behind, nothing.
Yeah.
And the other team is slide tackles from behind, late, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? We're copping fouls for challenging a ball in the air for a header when it's shoulder to shoulder. or-
Shoulder. Yeah.
I was at a game. I've got so many stories to tell you guys. Honestly, I've got so many stories to tell you guys. But-
Today is all about story time.
I was at a game a couple of years ago. We were playing State Cup, or the FFA Cup now it's called.
Oh,
I think
they changed the name.
they change it every year. And we were playing on a synthetic field down in Baringba. So my mates who played with me in that team would would know this story. We were playing against a team from a local district as well, and they were playing very. I don't want to say rough. It was dirty.
Yeah.
You can play rough. I'm happy to play rough.
Yeah.
A rough game is a fun game.
You like to play rough, eh?
A rough game is a fun game,
Yeah.
right? Because you're adding another element to the game. It's not
Of
just
course.
technical. It's not just
Yeah,
tactical,
just
but it's physical,
It's physical.
right? And I've been part of physical games. Playing in Melbourne in the regional Premier League
Yeah.
is physical. Like we're talking about, they import players, 3-4 players per team from England, from Ireland, from Scotland, and these guys come and they're just different beasts.
Yeah.
And you're going shoulder to shoulder with these guys. There was a final played in that comp where people walked out with bloody legs and everything, right? But it war, like literally war.
Yeah. War. Yeah.
War. Anyway, back to my current story. So rough game is a good game.
Yeah.
Physical, aggressive,
Yeah.
technical too. This game was just dirty. And we went in clean.
Yeah.
We sat down, guys, whatever the ref says, just play the game.
Yeah.
We knew the ref. We knew the team. We knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
We just said, look, play the game. We know we're the better team.
Yeah.
We can win this game.
Yeah.
So we go out there, players getting slide tackled from behind, late after the ball's been played. I'll get the ball. I'll pass the ball.
Yeah. Those late challenges.
Next thing you know, I'm slide tackled from behind. Bang, I'm on the floor.
Yeah. And nothing.
Where's the foul?
Nothing.
No, play on.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. The next one, same thing. The next one, same thing. Our player goes in for a shoulder to shoulder, and we had a guy who was pretty
Yeah.
pretty built.
Yeah.
Went in for a shoulder to shoulder, and he
Just
just turned his body.
Yeah.
Right? And it was protecting the ball. He had possession of the ball. Foul. Okay, no worries. No problem.
Wow.
Right? Play on. The game started to get more
physical.
aggressive.
Yeah, because that's when the referees don't protect the game in general.
And it was only one way because we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
We go
But they
shoulder to
could.
shoulder, spin a
Yeah.
foul. one of our players goes to take a shot.
Mm.
This guy comes 2 full slide tackle, studs in,
Oh my god.
straight through him.
Yeah.
Bang. You just hear the scream.
Yeah.
Broke his leg.
Wow. Fuck Joshua.
Where was the foul? But where was the foul? No
Mm.
foul. Play on. This guy's screaming on the
Oh,
floor.
wow.
He's in pain,
Yeah.
right? The ball's played on. Everyone stopped.
Mm.
Then the foul gets called.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a foul. He didn't call the foul. He called to stop the game.
Wow. That's what I mean, referees.
So, and that's only one
Mm.
story.
Yeah.
I have another story where the ref came to us before the game
Mm.
to check our shin pads.
Yeah.
Lift your skins up. What do you mean lift my skins up?
Yeah.
Like pull your sleeves up. What for? Just want to make sure you got no weapons. Are you
It sounds like a
Like-
simple district. I know.
and you think, but you think it's a joke,
yeah.
right?
But they're being serious,
Oh yeah, no worries. And he's just standing there
waiting for it.
waiting for it.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It's
And-
bad.
And the stories like you were saying, the thank God for the body cams.
Body
now.
cam. Yeah.
Some of the stories that I've seen,
Mm.
I had mate. The funniest story. I'm looking at my coach sitting, 2 fields down,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And apparently there was an official there, like a 4th official assessing, and apparently he was like, oh, the coach was staunching up to guys with his family and his kids, kicking a ball like 2 fields down, staunching up to the parents, staunching up to the ref, doing this, doing that, ready to throw fists.
Yeah.
Someone felt threatened, someone had to go, I'm like, bro, like, come on, like, can you relax? Right?
It happens.
But things like that and the calls in the games
Oh yeah.
that really I'm a very calm person.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen me yell at anyone?
No.
Ever?
I know that.
Have you ever seen me yell at anyone?
Yeah.
You see what happens to me in games.
Mm. Yeah. You
Do I spend more time running with the ball or more time on the ground?
on the ground
Why?
because you get tackled.
Because I get tackled.
No, but
So have I ever walked up to a ref and complained about anything?
no.
No. Okay, so when I had to ask to be taken off,
Mm.
I walked up to the sideline. I said, Coach, please take me off. I said, I can't play. I said, I can't play because everything I did that game,
Yeah.
I've got 2 yellow cards.
Mm.
2 yellow cards. I got them both in the same year,
Yeah.
and they were both in the under 14s.
Oh my god.
The first yellow card,
Mm.
you could argue it was a yellow card.
Yeah.
They had a very small centre back,
Mm.
and he got the ball. I went to take it from him,
Yeah.
and he turned, and I ended up clipping him in the back.
Mm.
And the ref gave a yellow. I said, whatever, that's
Yeah.
fine. Like all
It
the
is.
way in their 18-yard box, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The second yellow card, I was playing striker.
Mm.
I went for like a header, keeper saves it, I turn around, I'm jogging back, and the keeper's running behind me with the ball.
Yeah.
Like, oh, can't kick the ball. And then the ref blows the whistle, he walks up to me, he's like, yellow card, and I'm like,
For what?
what did I do?
Yeah.
This is like my 4th or 5th game like ever under 14, so I've got a yellow card already. I've only got 2 yellow cards. And
I can't
and I
remember
don't
you
give
getting
away
one.
fouls.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't
you
give
giving
away
a yellow.
fouls. Do you
Yeah.
see me give away fouls?
Only if the referee doesn't like you.
Only if it doesn't work. But have you seen me give
No,
away
I
fouls?
don't even remember you giving it. I don't even remember you getting a yellow.
Right? Because I don't like I'm the calmest person on the pitch. Like
Yeah.
I won't even slide tackle
Mm.
unless the ball's 3 meters away from the guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Unless you're guaranteed.
Protecting myself.
Yeah,
But-
100%.
I never want to hurt the next person.
Of course.
So
Because we all have work the
I've-
next day.
Yeah. But I've gone
Mm.
to my coach, you have to take me off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose it. Like I'm actually gonna lose it because everything we do is being called against us.
Yeah.
We're winning 1-0. We lost
Mm.
that game like 3-2 or something.
Yeah.
The ref was giving penalty, free kick, last minute this, last minute that. I'm like, but it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like, I swear, there was a goal kick.
Yeah.
I'm standing there. I'm just standing there. The ball's coming to me, right? I'm waiting for the ball, and the guy's behind me,
Mm.
and he's like pulling me, grabbing me,
Yeah.
and I'm just standing waiting, like I'm shielding the ball,
Yeah.
right? The ball drops, I control it, foul.
Foul. Yeah.
I'm like, thank God. Like
yeah.
the guy's full grabbing me,
Like about time.
foul for the other team.
What did you do?
I'm looking at that. I'm like, the guy was literally manhandling me.
yeah.
right.
And then doesn't even give it. That's
the
what I'm
foul's
saying.
for him.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Exactly. And this is what this is the issue I have with some referees. They're like, sometimes you think, do they even know football rules? Like, do they know it? Like,
But
I don't.
no, they do.
They do, but
They
I
do.
know.
That's
I
the
know.
problem. We're not talking about like a 16, 17, 18-year-old referee.
No, but I'm saying like this. I'm saying if you're trying
Even
to
they know
sell
the
it,
rules.
yeah, but I'm trying to, if you're trying to sell it as in you are being biased or cheating, let's just say, is it that terminology, cheating, okay, wouldn't you do it in a manner that won't look like
Disguises
cheating?
it.
Yeah. So like you just said, it's like saying if
Like,
the
like
guy's
an offside that doesn't get given,
yeah.
right? Like with no linesman.
Oh yeah, well, we like recently, it was recent or something. There was a story. Let's just say this was the 18-yard line. The defensive line is all here.
Yeah.
The guy is literally sitting inside the box. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have a lino, and he called no offside, and they scored from it. And I'm just like, where's your logic? The guy was standing inside the box the whole time, and yet you don't want to call offside. And I thought you were going to bring this up, but this happens a lot where I don't know if you've witnessed this, but I think you have, is when you have a linesman, okay, and then you have the center ref.
Oh.
And then
No, see,
you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
You know why my brain doesn't it like I've moved past that, right?
Yeah.
Now no one knows what we're talking about. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
But I've moved past that because I don't like I hear from now, literally.
You just play to the whistle.
I just play to the whistle.
Yeah,
right?
play to the whistle.
So I'll look back and the linesman's got his flag up and he's waving it like this.
Yeah.
Ref,
Oh
this
no,
guy's dying.
he
It's
just
a free
holds it.
kick.
He holds it up, and I'll go to the center ref, and I go,
Hold on, exaggeration. I want to do this. Come on.
Okay, I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it to
He's
you. I'll leave it
waving
to
the
you.
flag. It's like, ref, this guy just died. He killed him.
He has a
killed him."
headset mic. And he's like, hey.
Right? And the ref is like, play on.
Play on. Yeah. So that's what happens.
The guy's calling a foul. You can't see what's happening there.
Well, it's not even a foul. It's not even a foul.
Or like an offside or whatever
Yeah,
it
he
is.
calls offside. So you will have a linesman where he will just call offside and be like, okay, it's offside. So he has it up and he's just waiting there. Game's still on. And then the center ref will go, nah, continue. And then I'm just like, well, your linesman just said offside. So obviously we all stopped. Okay.
Yeah.
And he goes, nah, continue. I can overrule his thing. His decision. And I'm just like, well, then what's the point of him? He can just, in our language, he can fuck off.
Yeah.
True. Like, what's the point of him? If you have a linesman, use him, obviously.
100%.
But why in what mindset do you turn around and go, as a center referee, go, nah, I don't care about his call. Just continue because I think he's still onside, which is, when you look at that is literally match fixing.
Look, out of respect for some of the referees, right?
Yeah. We have some people who are friends of ours, like, you know, who was a referee. He doesn't do that as much, but you're playing this Sunday with him.
So we have some old referees.
Mm.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have some old referees.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Some referees rock up wearing glasses. I'm not saying referees are blind.
Oh.
Okay? But
I've got a story for this.
but when you have a referee who's struggling to run,
yeah.
okay, and he's very old, right? No, I seen it.
Yeah.
And the linesman's waving his flag.
Yeah.
What did you just see?
Exactly.
Did you see the linesman wave the flag, or did you see the imaginary VAR line going across the field and the guy in an onside position?
Yeah.
Clearly, he's offside.
Yeah. No, but I've seen referees where I have two experiences with two referees. Okay.
But I had a referee who was literally standing on the halfway line and he's seen the ball go out. Well, the guy's dribbling next to the byline.
Yeah. Like
near the corner.
Yeah.
And the guy's seen it. I seen it.
No.
But what did you see? I can't even. There's no line on the ground. The pitch is that poorly lined.
But you know where I coach.
I know where you coach.
Yeah,
I
okay.
coached with you for a year.
Yeah, I know. But we had a referee. He was very, very old. Okay.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about because
Okay.
he's the guy I'm picturing in my head.
Okay. He's still refereeing these days, but bear in mind. Okay. I saw in the game where he does, the center circle?
Yeah.
He doesn't leave that spot. Okay. So he'll walk to the other side of the center at the end.
I know.
And then he'll stop there and he'll go back. Okay. That's his area.
That's his
and then when the
position.
ball is out, there's no linesman. The ball is like, when the ball's on the line or whatever, or the guys will go out, he goes, guys, honesty is the best policy. Okay. So I can't see, I don't have an AR, but be honest. And I'm like, mate, why don't you just bloody move closer and you could see the outline.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we had this other referee. Now, in my opinion, with referees, positioning is very important.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean,
This
you
referee...
look at the Premier League, how many referees do they have?
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying like when you go to
I'm
these
saying
things,
just
in general,
just to cover, how many referees do you need to cover to
Exactly.
be able to see everything?
I know,
right?
but this referee, man, I shit you not, like I'm playing, and he's just in my way
Oh,
every time. Like I'm playing as a 6, okay, and let's just say for example, actually no, not even. You know how in goal kicks, everyone shifts to one side.
yeah.
This guy is on that side. So I'm there standing.
He's positioning himself like a player.
He's positioning himself like a player. I'm like there, and I'm with the defender. I'm waiting for the ball to come. The referee's right sitting next to me. I was like, bro, move out of my way before I hit you.
Have you seen the video where the referee clashes with the guy?
Oh, but there's so many times I've seen that happen.
And then the guy picks up the whistle and he blows
blows it on the foul him. Yeah, I remember that one. No, but like you get
God.
these referees.
I know, they position themselves
But-
like players and
No.
it gets in the way.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, like move. Like,
I want to turn around and go, bro, move your fucking ass.
2 weeks ago,
Mm.
2 weeks ago, we're playing the game.
Mm.
This was the game during your wedding, so it was probably like 4 weeks ago. It was when
Yeah.
you had the wedding,
Yeah.
and I'm like trying to get like I was like defending,
Yeah.
and the guy's attacking,
And, he's
and
in
the
way.
ref is in my way. I put my hands on the ref. I'm like, ref, move.
Yeah, but it's annoying because even when you're attacking, okay.
And,
Let's say,
and
for example,
just to be clear, I didn't get carded for that.
yeah,
because,
of course,
he was
of
in
course.
my
You're
way.
still gonna, you touched the referee, mate. No, that's assault.
Hey, but that's so true.
Yeah, no, but
That's
like
so true. Listen, the refs say
No.
assault,
yeah,
and the player who apparently assaulted them isn't even at the game.
yeah, I've seen that. Well, no, like for example, recently, let's just say, and like I said, I won't say names. The referee said that one of the players, be in mind, okay, changed her story after putting it in the report, okay, saying that our player grabbed from the shirt like this and said, "You fucking bitch," when all she did was, hey, she did this to get her attention, like to
Yeah.
touch her and like,
Yeah.
you know, and go, what's your name and what's your position here? Like, as in, what are you doing here?
Yeah, yeah.
That's all she said. And she fabricated her story and go, she called me a fucking bitch and grabbed me from the shoulder thing. So like, you know what I mean? These are
Yeah,
referees. But anyway, back
It's like they have an agenda against
yeah, I know.
the
But
players.
back to referees being in the way. I swear to God, I'm holding the ball and I want to go right or left, and this bloke is in my pathway. Now, yes, you could dribble through around him or whatever, but sometimes, man, when you realize when that referee is there, it actually closes a gap of space.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can't use that space because you know you're going to collide this that's in the middle. I'm going to call him like that. I don't give a shit. But move. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing in a position where you know for a fact that player has the ball? Either you step further back or you go forward or jog somewhere to the sideline. I don't care, but move
Pull
out of the way.
Pull away. You got to be aware of what's happening. around
Exactly.
you.
And this is like, there's a lot of
And it happens.
problems.
Look, sometimes it happens
Mm.
where we even see it in the Prem, like
Yeah.
refs getting in the way and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ball will hit the ref.
But it's not
rare.
It's,
It's
rare.
rare.
No, look, don't get me wrong. Recently, I've been seeing it happen a lot.
well, it
but it's
happens
not-
a
it's
lot
not their
in-
fault.
Yeah, but like when we're talking about grassroots,
Yeah.
grassroots level,
Fuck. They're in their way every second.
with everything, like
Everything.
everything.
It's like, dude, get out of the way. Like, I wouldn't be
I've
surprised.
seen I've seen refs get hit by the ball
Yeah.
because he's standing
right in front of
like just outside or like on the D.
you. Yeah.
What are you doing
He's,
on the like
he's
of
defending for the team.
of every position you could be in?
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever in your life ever seen a referee
Inside the box.
inside, not just inside the
Well,
box,
just in general.
in the like around the D?
yeah, I know. You
ever,
never see them. You never.
except when he's calling a penalty,
Yeah. Oh, I've had calls where, honestly.
and even then they'll stand on the side.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what's so funny? I had calls, and this will be the last thing about this of a story, and we'll talk about these in other episodes. We'll bring it always up. But I had a time where I was playing and ended. He got tackled. My mate got tackled. Okay, and let's just say this is the 18, the side. Okay, and then the goal's over here. Okay,
Yeah.
he got tackled literally right here. The ref
So right
called-
next to the penalty box.
like you could
Like
say
a
next to
penalty
the,
spot.
between the 6 yard and the 18, like that
Yeah.
gap there, you know.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
He got tackled in there, so you could say he was 2-3 meters in.
Hmm.
Ref said free kick outside of the box. He said free kick outside of the box because obviously he was far away, assumingly, but we had sideline referees as well, and he said outside of the box free kick, and my mate goes, it's a penalty.
Hmm.
sin bin.
Oh my god.
Like just like that. And then the sideline referee goes, "You should have been sent off for that." This is the problem with referees. And look, I actually, this is the reason why I want to start recording games that I coach and all, is because I'm actually sick and tired of these referees. I don't care what they can say about us or what we're saying right now, but there's times where, like, we try to give respect to the referees, and like you said earlier, you know, they're humans. They'll make mistakes.
They make mistakes.
They make mistakes, you know, and give them credit for them doing their job and they're coming on their weekends and doing it. Yeah, good on you.
Look,
but at least do it fairly.
I've had some amazing referees.
Yeah.
And if you remember, a couple of years ago, they started introducing female referees into the men's games.
Yeah. It's completely wrong, in my opinion.
Honestly, we had a season where the female referee we had was the best referee we had.
Oh, wow.
In the 20 odd games we played. And every game we had her was one of the best games. Like, refs make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're past that. Mistakes, no problem. Right? You don't see everything. Sometimes things happen. You know, players know how to conceal things.
Yeah.
She was the best referee across the 4 districts
you played
in that area that I played in.
Yeah, but
so there are some amazing referees.
Yeah, of course.
Not biased to gender or whatever. Credit to those referees. We thank you 100%. For showing up to the games. We thank you for your efforts. For coming, you know, games at 7, 8, 9, 10 in the morning. They're reffing 3, 4, 5 games a day. We love you. We thank you, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, but don't ruin the game
for the other ones.
Yeah,
for the other ones, we hope at some point something happens and we can actually hold you accountable for your
actions.
Not just reactions, but not your poor referee.
Yeah,
but the bias that we see.
Oh, 100%. And I agree on that. Like, I always show respect to the referees, but the district that I wouldn't say the coach in, I won't say names or anything like that, but I purposely did not shake the referee's hands after the game, nor at the start, because I've been in that district for a while now, and I see the bias in everything of it. Why do they deserve my handshake? That's how I look at it. Yeah. It might be controversial. It might cancel me or whatever. You want to ban me? I don't care. But at the end of the day, I have my reasoning to it, because the amount of times I've been shafted, like I'll go, you know, we play in these normal big tournaments that we play in. I'll shake the referees there because I don't know them. Okay.
100%.
I don't know them, and I'll shake their hands. There's no issue. But the ones that I do know, that I play in that district or I coach in that district, I don't shake their hands after a game or before a game, because they're so, let's just say, unfair and biased.
Yeah, and you can't talk to the ref anyway.
Yeah, you can't talk to the ref anyway.
And here's the thing, right? You go say thank you.
Yeah.
And he's already been calling.
You know what I said to my mates? I was saying in Turkish to them in a game, and I was like to him when I got sin binned, okay? And I said to him in Turkish, I go, hakime söyle kaç dakika var. Okay? Şimdi onu söylesem sarı kart verecek yine. Which means I go tell the referee how long left, because if I do, I'm going to get the yellow card. And then I'm going to get sent off. Be mine, the other player, he goes, hey mate, no cheating. Don't speak in different language. And then I tell them, I go, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I said the exact same thing to him. And he goes, I don't blame you. Which is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so like at the end of the day, look, we just want fairness. That's all it is, man. It's not hard to be fair. It's not even to be hard. It's just be fair and stop being power tripped. Simple as that. And I wanted to shout out some people from my club. But then if I say the names where they're from, then people know where.
Just don't.
So I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just shouting out to those people. I'll wink at them. But at the end of the day, like, that's the reason why I'm at that club as well, is because no matter how unfair we get treated, I will still be there and I will expose the other or that district, and I'm going to expose that district. That's why I'm going to be recording games, hopefully, and we're going to put it into the show, and so people could see us coaching and how we are in our everyday life, but let alone see how bad these districts or district is.
Now, talking about
This-
things not going our way.
Well, you want to say our way?
There's something not going Ange's way.
Yeah. So Pastor Carglu, man, he's been sacked.
He just got sacked.
Hey, look. To be fair, we all knew it was coming.
Yeah, I mean we saw it.
We all knew it was coming.
He won a trophy for them, but at least he got to play the final.
Yeah. No. Look, he got to play the final like Mourinho. But you know what was so funny? I don't know if you saw, because we saw it this morning. It happened this morning, and they were like, "Oh, season 3 is cancelled." So much for season 3. I was like,
Well,
"Oh, it is what it
He
is."
doesn't need a season 3 anyway.
Yeah.
He's
Look,
a second season specialist. That's his
yeah.
nickname, second season specialist.
Yeah, straight out. The second one.
the
The second one. But look, good on him.
No, listen, I'll
Look,
do the 2nd
I'm-
one for Arteta.
Yeah, Arteta is the bottled one. Look, he won it. We're not going to brush too much because we've spoken a lot about him,
Yeah.
but he won it. Let him leave on a high. Doesn't matter if the word they use the terminology of being sacked. He left. He
Yeah.
won a trophy after, they say, 17 years of not winning a trophy at Tottenham.
He took him to the Champions
He took him
League.
to the Well, he got him into the Champions League. Okay. Now they're saying Thomas Frank or Iralo, I think his name is from. I can't remember which team he's from. I think it's from Wolves or so. He's a Spanish manager. So you got Thomas Frank from Brentford. That could be a possible replacement. Look, those two are good replacements, but you know what I look at that? I just go, yeah, that's okay. Bring Tottenham back to a mid-tier team. They're not going to be a top 6 if like they ever were, but at the end of the day. Postecoglou, good on you, mate. You won the trophy. You did it for Australia. You did it for yourself. You did it for every hater. And we sticked with him. That's it. Like, good on him. And hopefully his future brings more, let's just say, more success and to a better club. I think he will probably go to like a mid-tier club next time.
Do you think he stays within the top 5 leagues in Europe?
That I'm hoping he does. You know, him going to Bundesliga would work because of his style. Because what Bayern Munich did that.
Play, well, do you think he can coach in
He'll-
Serie A?
He'll struggle in Syria.
You think?
He will struggle because Syria is all about low blocks and counter. So
Yeah,
imagine
he plays
him.
a very high line.
Yeah, he plays a high line. That's why I say Bundesliga. Bundesliga is so open. Bayern Munich, they won the Champions League that season with Hansi Flick.
Yeah.
When he played a high line. And he did it in the Bundesliga and he did it in the thing.
Yeah.
In Champions League. And that's what they demolished in. Look, we'll see what happens. I actually wanted to bring up transfer news actually.
Mbeumo,
Who's it, Bemo?
United.
Who's it, Bemo? Which one? I'm so lost who the hell's that is. Say his name again.
Brian.
Who?
Mbeumo.
Who's that?
Oh, they gave him like 50 cards in FIFA.
I can't remember who that is. Oh, in
He's the-
Breno. Oh,
He's the right.
Brentford. Yeah. I got so I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Look,
He got offered. Apparently,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
reading. He got offered from Newcastle,
yeah.
and he turned that down to go to Manchester United.
Hey, look,
And well, he's obviously signed.
I don't
there
look.
now.
In my opinion, when Man United is calling, the reason you'd go because it's Manchester United, okay?
Of course,
And
because the
they're
history.
building.
because
Yeah,
of-
you build. I think. Look, Man United are building a project. They're just going to take maybe 50 years to do so.
Well, if
but-
every year spending 10 million,
Yeah,
makes it a bit
exactly.
tough.
They need to spend money, and look,
Yeah.
but they
think
need to
he's
spend it
gonna
on the
be-
right players.
I
Breno
think
is a very good
he's-
player.
I think he's going to be the highlight player for them next season,
I think so too.
and not because
He'll score every minute, like in the first minute of the game, because that's what he did at Brentford.
he's just fast. He's just quick. He's brutal.
He scored on the first minute every
But
time.
he's the position that he's assumed in that team. He's going to be up and down that flank,
Yeah.
cutting in, shooting, creating. I think he had about 20 or so goal contributions
Yeah.
last season,
Yeah.
and United are lacking in that department.
Yeah. But in my opinion, they're lacking a lot of things in that
Yeah,
team.
I know, but we'll get there, right? And I think although they're looking at other signings, they're still looking at
Yeah.
Gyökeres. I think Brian Mbeumo is going to be that change for them.
I-
He's going to be that player for them next season that Salah was for Liverpool,
Yeah, but you remember what I said in I think it was episode 2 ago.
and that's a big thing to say too.
Yeah, but do you remember what I said? I said that Bruno needs to leave in order to succeed.
He's not leaving.
He's not leaving though.
He's not leaving.
And he got offered to Saudi at one point.
I think he got offered to Al Hilal
Yeah.
as well as Cristiano Ronaldo did. I think he's going.
Yeah. No, but look,
Um,
if he goes, he goes. But like I said, it's just that team needs a big change. Big change. But let's leave United out of it. I was actually wanted to talk about a signing that could happen, and it's on the talks. Is just came recently. Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig going to Arsenal. That came out of the blue.
Yeah, but Arsenal have been looking at
Strikers.
Gyökeres and they've been looking at Sesko
Yeah.
for a while. And I know I think we touched on this 2 weeks ago about Gyökeres and whether he would be better to play at United.
Yeah, or Arsenal.
If he should go to Arsenal, obviously
Yeah.
Arsenal is the better option in my opinion.
Mm.
But they were looking at Sesko, and at the time when I saw this a couple of weeks ago, I said, push for Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Sign both of them. You don't even have a striker. But
Yeah, you might as well sign both. I don't understand why they don't do that. That's what I'm like hoping for Chelsea to do. Because we got Liam Delap, which is okay and all. I don't mind it. 30 million is a bargain, in my opinion. It's a bargain.
He's a good player.
Because we're trying to now go get Ekitike for 100 million. Okay, now
Ekitike. I can't even say his name. Ekitike.
Ekitike, yeah. They're asking for 100 million for him. But the reason why this is the problem with what's happening with Chelsea, okay, is they're getting youngsters, okay, fine, no problem. And you're building it for them.
I like that.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
But you have to get experience with these
As
youngsters.
well.
Because they're thinking what PSG did. PSG has a young team, but they do have experience.
PSG
You've got
seems very
Hakimi.
experienced. There's a couple of old guys.
You've got Marquinhos, who's been there for years.
Yeah,
well, his
that
whole
is true.
entire life, pretty much, you could say.
Yeah. He's
Okay? Like, you got experience mixed with it. And I think that's what Chelsea's trying to do. But
even like a player like Dembele,
yeah, experience.
still very young, but he's experienced.
Experience.
I think I played at Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly. He played everywhere. Dortmund,
Yeah.
Barcelona. You know what I mean?
So there's a lot of experience in that team. It's not a young team.
Yeah.
I want to say it's a young team. It's definitely not an old team.
No.
They're in there like the sweet 16, you know?
Yeah, Sweet 16.
Right,
Teenage
they're in
phase, honeymoon phase.
but they're in that fun phase at the moment.
Yeah.
Where they're not old, they're not young, they're like hitting their prime, their players
Yeah.
are peaking.
You know, but what I'm trying to say, okay, is that it goes with Chelsea, it goes with everyone. The fact that Gyökeres has scored so many goals and he's not getting picked up, and if you haven't realized, why? Why they're not
There's
picking him
obviously
up?
a reason.
Huh?
Where's he playing? Number
No.
one?
His age.
Well, how old is he?
He's like 27 or 29.
Yeah, but that's still young.
I know. But clubs want younger now.
Ah,
Because you're trying to see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the issue I'm having with Chelsea.
But I mean, how old is Harry Kane?
Yeah, Kane's in his
You
30s.
look at him, he's like, bro, the guy's almost 40. He's not.
Yeah.
He's like 34.
Look, I'm looking at it now. Look, Victor Gyökeres is 27 years old, 33 matches in League Portugal, 39 goals, 7 assists.
Yeah, no,
That's
he's killing
amazing.
it. He's killing it. He's
That's
at
amazing.
1.2 or something.
Yeah,
goals per
but
game.
back before, like let's say before this young thing that everyone does now,
A striker like that will get poached straight away.
100%. Wait, if I
half
saw
those stats will
27,
get
when I
picked.
saw 27, like if I saw 27 years old as a player, like as in when Chelsea was looking for a striker or whoever, I saw 27 and I'm like, wow, that is a ready proper striker. Like he's ready.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. I want him.
He's prime.
He'll give you 4 years.
He's
Three
prime.
to 4 years.
Yeah, he's
He's
prime.
prime. We
He's
always
prime.
said your prime is 26 to 29. That's how I see it.
Vardy proved it.
Yeah.
Kante.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry
So that was
Kane,
his
yeah.
prime. I was just like, go get him. Now they're like, you know what? Let's get kids or let's get players 22 or younger, and then we can build them up. But then you're asking to be patient,
Yeah.
which is fine in some clubs.
This is I think this is the transition.
Yeah, it's the
Now.
transition now.
And later, a couple years down the line, maybe not a couple years, maybe in 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line,
Mm.
all these players are going to be so experienced. All these young kids, the 18,
Yeah.
19 now, they'll be in there like 28 to 30.
Yeah,
They're going to be so experienced. They're going to be so good
yeah,
that youngsters won't get game time.
yeah. Exactly.
Youngsters in 10 years, to 10 to 12 years, won't get game time because
Yeah.
these guys are just going to be so good.
Yeah, exactly. But
And
look,
then eventually when they hit, they're like,
yeah,
look, Ronaldo's still playing. How old's Ronaldo?
40.
I'm not going to say Messi, he's doing okay, but Di Maria kept playing until,
Yeah, I know.
right? So these players, Sergio
Modric,
Ramos,
Modric.
Modric is, the guy's going to go bald soon.
Yeah.
Right?
That guy has
But
nice
plays
hair,
again old. Like plays again old.
Yeah.
Casillas played until he was so much older. He started very young.
Yeah.
So these players now are moved on
Mm.
because they had so much game time.
Yeah.
Because all these, when they were young, they were so good. They had so much game time.
Yeah.
They were taking game time from all the youngsters.
Yeah.
Now they've hit the expiry date.
Yeah.
Now the young there's no really like good experienced players on the market.
No.
So you pick up the young kids,
Yeah.
you build them up, you make them the players that you want them to be,
Mm.
and then they'll hit their like prime 25 to 30,
Yeah.
right? They'll keep pushing. Some will play till 35,
Mm.
some will play till early 30s,
But do you?
and then the youngsters won't get game time
Yeah.
until these guys expire, and then all the youngsters start coming again. It's like that cycle.
Yeah, it's a cycle. It's always you recycle. It's a look. I think they
It's a
make it.
brutal
They
one.
look like they're making it look now more of a business than just football.
but that as well.
And like the asking price for Gorka is 60 million. It was 85, but it got reducted to
Yeah.
60 million.
60 minutes is still very
That's
cheap.
a bargain, man.
That's
and we're trying to
very
get
cheap.
Etitike for 100 million. Like,
I
think
mean,
of it. And the guy is not a proven goal
How
scorer.
much did United spend on Maguire?
Yeah, 100. Wasn't 100 million?
It
It
was
was
like
80
80
million. Yeah, 80 million.
How much did they spend on Pogba?
Yeah, I know. No, but see,
Right.
that's the thing. But those, look, Maguire, no, but Pogba, deservedly. Okay, because I still rate that player. I'm
Yeah.
surprised he hasn't came back yet into football. But for Gorka, I just don't understand why why is it taking so long for someone to pick him up?
I think.
And
Look, I think.
before you say
Yeah.
anything, Chelsea. I always said for Chelsea, we've always had a striker issue after Diego Costa.
Definitely.
Okay, like Drogba and Diego Costa. Okay, but I always said,
Shout out to Arsenal.
is we even got Giroud, and what worked with us with Giroud, in my opinion, and it worked. I always
I
say
hate him.
is
I
that
hate him. I
No,
just
no,
don't
no.
like him.
Giroud
Do I
was
keep
great.
this here for the Arsenal fans?
Hmm?
No, they've suffered enough.
Giroud, the thing I liked about him, it's not I liked about him. He is a goal scorer. He's a poacher. He's a poacher.
He's a poacher.
Okay, but
Scorpion
what
kicks.
Chelsea did right was they got him, but then they got another striker. And the problem right now, we got Nico Jackson, but then we didn't get another striker. We got Nkunku, who's not a striker, for one
Yeah.
thing. Okay, like Chelsea, and it goes to clubs these days, and they should realize this. You need to buy two strikers, not just one.
Well, of course.
Like
If you get
need
injured,
to
what happens?
exactly. But if one's not performing, the other one might.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if that doesn't perform, go use your youth. But we had Mark Guhi, we had all these players, but they're youngsters. They need to learn. They need to
Yeah.
learn the game.
We had what's his
Broya,
name?
we had
Broya,
we had a lot of strikers. But that's why I'm like, okay, we just bought the Lap. The Lap has been playing in the Premier League. He could prove. But in mind, goal careers came from Brighton,
Yeah,
which I forgot completely. So-
that's true.
I'm looking at it in a sense that I go, get him and get Liam Delap. Delap is young.
Yeah.
Okay. Gorka will play. Give him 2 years. Delap will adapt and learn as well
Yeah.
on top of that. And then you can either share them two together, which I don't know why striker. This is the other thing as well. I don't know why clubs. No one plays with two strikers anymore.
Like,
No
not a 4-4-2, but no one plays with two
no
strikers.
one plays
yeah.
with two strikers anymore, and they should. They don't realize how dominant you could be. Especially look as a Chelsea supporter, and if Chelsea supporters will know this, if they're a real Chelsea supporter, in my opinion, okay. Whenever teams play against Chelsea, they play all low block. They all play low block.
Yeah.
You can't
It's-
break their defense.
Look,
Every time.
up
If you
until-
watch City or anything like
Yeah.
that, or Arsenal or whatever, none of the teams play low block. Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean. It's still
I
an
think-
open
I
game.
think-
But for Chelsea,
I
it's
think in
never a
recent-
fucking open game.
I think in recent days, I will look like maybe the last 4 or 5 years,
Mm.
teams have been trying to come at us.
Yeah.
Chelsea because of the dip we have. We
They
have a
did,
drop.
yeah, that's different.
So teams started attacking us.
yeah.
Obviously, in our prime teams sit back, and if you look at, I think last season,
Mm.
no one came to play against Arsenal. Every team
Yeah.
that Arsenal played against, they
Yeah.
sat back with like 20 players defending.
Yeah.
And it happens against City. This year,
Mm.
teams were actually going at City.
Yeah, because of the injuries.
Because
They
of the
knew they were
injuries. So-
vulnerable.
Yeah, so I genuinely believe that yes, in the past, teams were sitting back against us and parking
The bus.
the whole fucking stadium.
Yeah.
But
fans.
now,
The fans.
but now teams are actually
opening up.
Some
but
teams are trying to
but
play
they are
playoffs.
improving. That's the reason why
Yeah.
they are improving. But the amount of times I've watched the games, I watch every Chelsea game, and literally
Yeah, you see, we get the ball and
we just go
run
side
back,
to side,
run back.
side to side. But this is also another thing, and I've watched Thierry Henry explain it, where players, dribblers, where wingers mainly, they go forward, and then they stop the ball, pass it back,
Yeah,
which is a big problem in this generation of football.
Of course.
Like, the idea of a winger was about taking risks, and that's what they don't do these days. That's
it's
why
a position that is so far away from like the center, we'll say, from your goal, that you can afford to make a mistake.
Exactly.
And followed by high press if you do lose the ball. I mean, who's gonna?
Well, no,
by,
look,
by counter.
But
It's a very
risk. But that's what makes the
yeah.
better players.
Yeah, I know.
Mbappe goes on his own. Vinny goes
Yeah.
on his own.
I mean, look, Yamal's doing it now.
Yeah, exactly.
I can never say his name. Dowie from
Yeah,
PSG.
Desire Dewey.
Yeah,
Dowie.
he's killing it. I mean, you got Barcola trying to beat players.
Yeah.
So this transition of new players coming in, I think they're starting to do that.
Yeah.
We have more players that do that. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, watching Vitinha, and he's not a winger, but watching Vitinha and the way he
Yeah.
moved in that game, and the
100%.
way he passed the ball in that final. So players are starting to dribble again. They're starting to create again. But it's just, I see where you're getting at with this, because defenders are sitting back, midfield is sitting back. The wingers will actually get the ball and they'll look at the guy and they'll be like,
No, I don't want to
because
go.
you assess it, right?
Yeah.
As a winger,
Yeah.
I'll assess it and I'll be like, oh, if I beat him,
Then I've got to
right?
be worried about the other two guys that's going to come at me.
but this is the thought process, right? You're standing wide. You've peeled off. You're on the line.
Yeah.
You've looked. You've assessed the position that you're in. You know the fullback is there. You're thinking, can I beat him in my first touch? Do I cut across him? Right. As the ball starts to transition, you're like, okay, I can beat him first time. I can run it. The centre back won't be able to get me because I'm quick.
Yeah.
Right. And then I can cut it back, or I
Yeah.
can cut across him myself and shoot.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you think.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get in a position where you get it out wide. Your team is like, half into the other team's field, and you're expecting a jockey, a 1v1.
1v1, yeah.
Right? But you look at it and you'll be like, yeah, look, I can still beat him. The positions of everyone else, it makes sense in your head.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, there's a centre back. I can see my striker there.
Yeah.
But when you get that ball out wide and you've had to step back to get it
Yeah.
because the whole team is sitting in the 18-yard box,
Yeah.
you get the ball, and as a winger, you look for space,
Yeah.
and the only space is to the corner flag or backwards. And you go to the corner flag, it doesn't make sense. Why would you go to the corner flag?
Exactly.
There's nothing
You just
there
box
for
yourself
you.
in.
You may as well go back. There's no real option to take it in and take a shot
Yeah.
because you're shooting through bodies, and it's because teams are sitting so far back now.
Yeah. No, but would you say like this as
I don't think it's a mentality thing.
No.
Look, some coaches do say don't play with risk.
yeah.
Right? Why risk it?
Yeah.
Right now, if as a winger, if I get the ball and my striker's tall,
Yeah.
I always look for a pass. I'm a creative player. I'm gonna look for that long
Cross,
ball.
yeah.
I'm gonna look for that cross. I know I can
100%.
do it. Why
100%.
wouldn't I? Right?
And
If I
that's
had
what
Haaland,
teams don't do that. Yeah, exactly.
Right? If I had Haaland, you look at the way De Bruyne that season. De Bruyne got all the assists.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's to last episode. But when he got all those assists, it was because they realized we can pass the ball in.
We can cross it in now.
But
There's no
now,
Gundogan there. It's now
yeah,
Haaland.
but we don't need to pass the ball in now. We can actually
Cross it in.
hit a striker that can actually
Exactly.
score goals. So I know I can make that ball. I'll play that ball.
Yeah.
They play that ball. The ball goes in
Yeah.
because you've got Hunt. Oh yeah, he might miss. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But you've made that play. You can
You
play.
did, you did your part.
past. You can play it around
Yeah.
and over the block.
But the thing, what I was going to say is that what happens is, you've seen this probably happen a lot in the Premier League or in anything where they just take two players on and then they chuck a U-turn and go back. Like, you know, you know how we're not professionals. Okay. We don't play in professional comps or whatever, like as in like professionally. Okay. And you might get crucified for it, but you know how in grassroots or in normal NPL, you take the player on, you keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
You keep going. You beat that player, you keep going to the goal.
100%.
Okay. Or you cut it back in. But you don't
100%.
go, you whip the two players and then chuck a U-turn.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, well,
and then Hazard will whip the
will go
player
through.
and keep going.
yeah. And that's what I was saying before. Like you assess the situation.
Yeah.
As a winger, I'll look at it. If I can beat 2-3 players,
Yeah.
and you've seen me do it,
Mm.
but I'll look and I'll be like, okay, I can beat those two players, and I have the support behind me,
Yeah.
right?
Why
But
am I going to stop?
why would I stop?
Exactly. And that's
Right.
what's happening these days.
Is the support there? Are there players there?
Even
Like,
if
can the ball
support's
be
not
made,
there.
or is now? Because this is a question you got to ask yourself now. Did the player make the right decision by beating the players, by going for it?
Yeah.
Because if I get the ball,
Mm.
the way we play now, if I get the ball out wide,
Yeah.
right, and I drive and I dribble, I know I might have one or two options.
Yeah.
Right? We have some pretty fast players
Yeah.
in the team. I might have one or two options.
Yeah.
So when I think about, okay, do I take this guy on? I think, is my play in a position where he can help me? Sure,
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Right? But like, when I played a couple years ago, I'd get the ball and I'd be perfect. There's space. I can drive.
Yeah.
I look and there's no support. I've made the decision to drive.
Yeah.
I'm taking that ball, man. I'm beating players. Like at this point, I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
I take on one, I take on the second, take on the third. I run it into the box
Mm.
and I look up again and there's no one there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do then?
Yeah.
Are you going to shoot
Or you're going to cut it back and pass it
or
to
are you going
nobody.
to cut it back and pass back?
Yeah.
Right? Now, for a player who always looks for the pass, I'm always going to look for the pass first.
Yeah.
I might lose that chance to shoot now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of factors that go into play when
Of
it comes
course.
to beating a player, like taking a player on. You can't just take a player on
Yeah.
and not have support. And unfortunately, if your team is set to play passing the ball, moving the ball around, and your coach doesn't
Want you to
doesn't
take
allow you,
risks.
but doesn't want you to take risks,
Then you're not
when you
gonna-
do go for that dribble, who's going to expect it?
Exactly. But
If I told you
you
you're
don't
not
have
allowed
no
to beat a player.
success when you don't take risks.
I know, but look at, Thierry Henry is a perfect example,
Yeah.
right?
He
He
just
got-
needed one.
Guardiola took him off
Yeah, I know.
because he told him, "You stay wide."
And you pass. And he kept on taking
He
risks.
came in, he took the ball, he
And he-
dribbled, and he scored,
Yeah.
and he took him off.
Because it wasn't his style.
So why would you go and do that knowing that your coach is going to kill you for it?
Yeah. Because he wanted to play his style. He would
So-
say it like that.
Yeah, but that's the reality of where we're at. I know players. I know a player who signed for a club. This is MPO. He signed for a club.
Yeah.
Amazing defender. Amazing defender.
Yeah.
He signed for a club, right?
Mm.
Coach came in, new coach, didn't like him.
Right.
Now he's sitting on the bench. He just didn't like him. He didn't like the way he played.
Yeah.
But the guy, I spent a whole season with him. He made mistakes,
Yeah.
right? Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But the mistakes he made were his own doing. Like, he was having fun. We were
Yeah.
having fun that season. But when it came down to playing a serious game, he was like on the ball. Like, every pass was perfect.
Yeah.
Every challenge was perfect.
It's like saying
Right.
you gotta. Some coaches have to realize that you have to build around the player, or you have to use, like, let's say you have to
But-
use their ability. Like,
yeah,
you got to find
but
their
the thing
best
is-
position for their ability.
This player just didn't fit the style of this coach.
Yeah. Like that, you could say
And,
like
and
that.
it's a shame because now he's just wasted a year of his life sitting on the bench
Yeah.
and he's not going to get game time.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
Oh well. Didn't realize how long this episode went. We're actually an hour in. But yeah, we'll leave it like that today, guys. Obviously there wasn't much football to talk about besides our rant on referees. But you get to a little bit actually get to know who we are as people,
Yeah.
and hopefully later on you get to learn more about us. Let us know your experiences with referees. Leave it down on the comment.
If you
down
are a
below.
referee, tell
If
us
you are a
what
referee,
goes
fuck
on in
off.
your mind.
I'm
Don't say
joking.
that.
I'm joking.
Don't say that.
I'm
We love them.
joking.
We love
I
them.
love
We
you.
appreciate them.
Nah, but yeah, let us know in the comments if you had any bad experiences with referees or just in games in general. Any bad calls that you've had experienced or anything like that. Let us know in the comments. And yeah, do you want to say anything else, Ali?
Should I tell them?
About what?
Should I tell them?
You coming out?
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
No. But there is something in the works. We might do a
Mhm.
football challenge very soon.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah.
And
Socials. I'll leave the
Shall I-
socials to you today.
I'll do socials.
Yeah, you do socials.
Hit
You
the
know the-
like button, subscribe, click on the notification bell. It'll let us.
It's
let
not
you
up
guys-
there.
Is
It's
it?
down
Where is it?
there.
Where is it?
It's down at the bottom.
But go down into the description.
Yeah.
Follow the links. Follow the TikTok, the
Yeah.
Instagram,
I got
and
a
we look
lot of
forward
shorts
to
that's going to be coming out soon.
talking to you guys.
Yeah, no worries. See you guys later.
Peace out.